Welcome to Central Florida. And by the looks of things, there is not a lot of anything out here with me today. It's very peaceful. You can just hear a bunch of bugs off in the distance. That's about it. Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm actually walking out this lonesome road right here. Probably about 3/4 of a mile to get to my location I want to go check out, explore, if you will. It's on there's this old abandoned dam out here, and it was built back really in the 60s, and then the whole project that this dam was a part of got shut down around the early 70s, and it's just been sitting out here ever since then. And it's kind of a funny story how I even found out about this dam. I was down here maybe 2 months ago doing a video about Micanopy and like some of the back road little small towns here in Central Florida, and I was driving across a bridge, and I thought, this bridge is so big and it's so steep, I feel like I'm going over to a barrier island like on the coast. And when you peer out over, once you got to the top of the bridge, you look around and there is no water. Not very much. As big as that bridge was, it should have been a big wide river or a canal, but there was none. So that got me kind of exploring on the internet, looking around, and that's when I read up about this place. And now I'm back a couple months later in the hot July sun to check things out, see for myself. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope this is going to be a lot of fun for you. I'm pretty excited to be here. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I've made it down here to the first dam or lock system that we have. You can see the cables up there. It suspends down and it connects to that gate right there, which lowers down and dams up the water and would also release the water. Look at all these lily pads out there. That is so cool. So just to give you a little bit of backstory about what this is and why it's here, is because this dates back to like George Washington in a way. So the idea, this was called the Cross Florida Barge Canal project. And what it was here to do, it was here to connect the Atlantic Ocean to the Gulf. And they thought it would be a great idea to build this canal that goes through Florida, where ships wouldn't have to go around Florida, and it would like save money and time, and it would be safer for ships just to go through Florida and then come out into the Gulf. It's saving probably about 400 miles, give or take, when they're shipping stuff around Florida. They wouldn't have to go around, because Florida is like a peninsula. So that is kind of what this is. And they actually started working on it way back in the 60s. As I walk out this old road, I've been really keeping an eye out for snakes and animals, but my God, is that the biggest grasshopper I think I have ever seen. He is monstrous. So most of this stuff that we're looking at today was actually built back in the 1960s, but the whole project really started to get off the ground in the 30s, and something happened and it kind of fizzled out. But by the time the 60s come along, the project got ignited. They spent about $50 million building this canal across the state of Florida. And some of the things that they accomplished was this lock system here, or dam. And they also built bridges. And some of the bridges did not get completed before the project was shut down, but they did build like the pillars that the bridge would set on. So there's a lot of evidence that this thing was actually happening. If you drive across Central Florida, you can definitely see it. You know, if you just keep your eyes open, you know what to look for. You can find little hints here and there of this old canal system that they was building here in Florida. It's pretty cool. As I walk down this old roadway here, you notice these old like light posts up here, posts to light up the road, and all of them have these big palm trees. It's kind of overtaking them along the way. That is pretty awesome. But to get back to my story, the reason for the 1971 shutdown was simple. Environmentalists had much concerns, and they're the ones who stop it. The project was stopped largely due to the protests from environmentalists who warned it would destroy the river ecosystem here in the area. And this was one of the first major victories for the U.S. environmental movement back in the 1970s. All right, this is it. Look at that. This place is freaking-mungus. Look at that dam right there. That is freaking awesome. Kind of reminds you, when you're here looking at it, kind of reminds you of the Panama Canal, you know, like when you see pictures of the Panama Canal, how the gate system works to let ships through. It's kind of what this reminds me of. The Cross Florida Barge Canal in all of its glory right here. This is so freaking cool. Piece of Floridian history right here, abandoned, you know, for 50 plus years. God, that is one huge waterway right here. I wonder, after big storms, if the water seeps out, maybe along this old gate right here. You would think it would just keep rising and rising, but maybe over time it's got ways to kind of let water kind of drip through, possibly. But look at all the buildings that are here, abandoned over there, that old trailer. And then right here behind me is another house. Somebody has broken the wood off the window, but you can kind of see maybe this was some kind of system or hydraulic system of some type that maybe operated these gates, part of the mechanism to make it all work. That's amazing. So I was right over there across the way. Kind of take a little walk and look inside here. There's, that used to be a toilet at one time, and Mira had a little wash station right there, bathroom. They can actually have, they could cook. They was meant to spend some time here, that's for sure. Had like a little kitchen area. My gosh. This is wild. And there's another one of those mechanisms. I don't really know what the heck that was. They got like some fuse boxes and stuff right here for electrical stuff. Just another door to come in the other side. We'll walk over here and check out that little single wide building next. I'm gonna check and see if the wood's sturdy. Is it still sturdy enough to walk on? Just think of all the hurricanes this thing has been through. A lot of hurricanes come across Central Florida. Not really much of anything in here to speak of. It just looks like some kind of, you know, old single wide trailer that they manufactured into some kind of a little living space or office space. Can't really tell what anything used to be. You know, in a home you would not have lights like this, these kind of fixtures, but they did have a bathroom and a shower here, that's for sure. This was some type of a bathroom with a shower. It's pretty awesome. It's kind of wild to see these really elongated, almost like they was going to have a farmer's market here. And I mean that in a joking way. I know it was not going to be a farmer's market, but I wonder what they used to store or was planning on storing right here beneath these long shelters. But that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like an old farmer's market. Let's go back here and check out these buildings. All right, I made it over here to this other little building. It's like, it has like double doors. And it looks like it's just some kind of storage building. Maybe they had some, like, you know, lawnmowers or some kind of equipment like that to kind of keep the place tidied up. This could have been possibly what that's for. This looks like a workbench. See the outlets and the pegboard? So this is where you could actually work on stuff if it was broke down. So this could have been a place for, like, you know, just where they would bring some of their machinery if they need to do some maintenance and things like that, I would imagine. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. I would about guarantee it. I got more bench places to do bench work over here also. All right, man. So let's go over here and check out this room here. And then I'm going to get out of here because you know what? It is hot. This here has BL520013 on it. Have no idea what the heck that means. Looks like we have this old DirecTV satellite, an old tarp. But other than that, just looks like another storage facility. If any of you guys know much about the history of this place, and you know what these like elongated like shelter, not buildings because they're not enclosed. What the heck did that supposed to be right there? That is wild. Oh man, that scared the crap out of me. The wind blew that little metal piece of tin right there. That startled old hitchhiking Yeti a little bit, especially when you're out here by your freaking self, you know. That's really cool. You guys see that bridge right there? That is what I drove across a few months ago and really got me interested in why that bridge was there. Why was it so tall? That was it. And I can actually see it today standing right here where the old lock is located. That come full circle. All right, my friends, that will pretty much do it for me today. It is hot out here. Holy smokes, is it hot. I still got about 2 hours to go on my drive as I make my way toward WDW with my family. But definitely wanted to stop here today while they do some stuff and check this old place out. Had a lot of fun. Learned a little bit about the history of the old canal project here in Florida. I think that's pretty fascinating. I love finding out stuff like that. And it's so weird how I found out. I was down here shooting one video and just happened to cross that bridge over here. And lo and behold, I asked myself, I felt like when I was going across that bridge, I'm like, this is totally like going over to Barrier Island. But I know I'm here in Central Florida. There is no Barrier Islands here, so why is there this huge bridge? And lo and behold, when I got researching about it, that's why, because that bridge, if the project would have been completed, that's where ships would have been able to pass beneath that big old tall bridge. So some of the canal north of here is completed. You can actually drive across it, and it's actually quite beautiful. I seen it earlier about 20 miles to the north. It was really beautiful and just straight as you can be, man. I mean, a boat would go right down through it. Really cool looking. But down here, you know, not so much. But if you ever go on Google Maps and you look around like Fort McCoy area or just south of there and zoom out, you will see like a lot of the communities. And then you can actually tell where the canal was going to be because it'll be really green. You won't have anything built there. It'll be like all green, and then you'll have like towns and stuff around it. So it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Really cool piece of Floridian history here. Hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, I am really hot. It's time to get back to the car. Until next time, friends, I am the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I'll see you at my next adventure. You guys stay safe, and I hope to see you all again soon. It's quite an adventure today. It really was. Awesome. I've actually made it back to the first little bridge or lock area right here. So that means I'm probably close to halfway, not quite, probably a third of the way back to where I parked. But really neat little place. And I find it very fascinating. Like this I don't know, these metal barbed, almost like a fencing that's kind of draped across there. That's kind of wild looking. Don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. But oh well, it is what it is. So I'm going to keep stepping till I get back to the car and then finish my drive to WDW, where the air condition will be waiting for me, thank goodness. Well, I don't have the air condition on in the car, so it don't really matter, but I'm definitely ready for some AC. All right, I'm really cutting it off now. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, y'all. Y'all keep it real, and I'll see you again real soon. Yeah.